Shrivels. Fruit. Fully contracted.
I wish they made a bikini for me, a bikini for me on the beach. I wish they made a bikini for me. What will I wear to the beach?
Shrivels. Fruit. Fully contracted.
Trademark.
Take a chance and take the quiz.
It's right below bed.
Right to your door.
It's right below bed.
Download anymore.
It's right below bed.
'Cause you got so much love.
It's right
to
below
give.
bed.
Oh, I love my cat. Oh, I love my cat. But my cat doesn't care about me. Yes, I love my cat. Yes, I love my cat. But he does not care about me. He's an outside cat. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's an outside cat. But my cat doesn't care about me.
Accelerate my aging.
Thank you.
Shrivels. Fruit fully contracted.
Shrivels. Fruit. Fully contracted.
Drumplin.
Let's go ahead and accelerate my aging.
Shrivels. Fruit. Fully contracted.
Oh my god, what's happening to me?
to the Shout Out Show, your weekly SOS for all things positive. I am Aisha Alfa.
I'm Wynter Spears.
And I'm Sophia Zolan. And for the next hour, we'll be spreading the word about the things we dig.
Each week, we find at least 6 things that we love so much we thought the world should know.
It's a judgment-free zone for positivity and joy. And as always, make sure to engage and comment throughout the show. We have secret contests going on, and you might just win a prize.
Ooh, and we also have a very special guest every single week who gives us a wonderful mantra. So make sure you stay tuned for that. That is in the second half of the show. But right now, well, get ready. Buckle those seatbelts and get the harnesses on and get ready for the best day of your lives. You get a shout out. 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 You get a shout out.
Does anybody remember Same Script, Different Cast?
No, I have no clue.
Nobody knows that song.
What is it? What is it?
It's from Whitney and Deborah Cox. Anyway, okay.
I
this is
remember
the
okay.
remix of my life. Anyway, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know that.
remember.
When you sang it like
I
that.
remember. It was like, it took me a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway, that's what reminded me of. Anyway, that's great.
Also, I love that the only 2 people who are singing it are the 2 people who did not get a degree in music, Wynter Spears.
I was like, what musical
one
is
time,
that from?
my friend Orlando and I, we requested that at karaoke, and everybody was like, "What song is this?" It was really embarrassing.
Well, there's 3 things I want to say. Number 1, hi everybody. Cheryl, aka Speedway CJ42, just said we all look bright and colorful.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Nancy said love it, and Leisha said yay, sang girl.
Leisha, thank you so much for putting that baton routine together to Whitney. It was amazing.
Yes, if people don't know, Leisha is one of our favorite fans of the Shout Out Show. She is a world champion baton twirler, and now she coaches, but she's like, I'm not really fit. And then she pulls out her baton, and it's like somehow it's tied to her. She's just like super happy faced, and she's like, oh, and now it's here, now it's not, and then it's in the sky, and then I caught it on my butt. And you're like, how are you doing this?
There was one move that she did in the video where it was like went behind her back and then under her leg, and I was like, I don't understand how that happened. You have a string? I don't get that.
For those of you who don't know, Leisha sent me my very own baton, and I sent her one video, and now that I've seen her video, I was like, I need to practice more. I need more practice.
Amazing. But speaking of this video, it was just Sophia's birthday on Monday.
Yes. Oh my God, you guys, it was so much fun. I put together a little variety show, and these ladies performed stand-up. We had stand-up, we had music, we had drag, we had games. It was super fun. I'm just so grateful to have so many talented friends. And
our super fan Cheryl watched the show.
Yes, Cheryl. I know, because she told us about the horseradish jelly beans that I was I can't know that.
You barfed, and then they made that into a jelly bean flavor, and then that's a real thing.
Collected my barf, and they collected the poop you left outside of my apartment, and they melded it together.
For everybody, I had a whole set list written down, and I showed it, and instead what I did is just talk about poop stories, maybe because someone had pooped outside of our garage. Someone pooped a huge human poop outside of our garage.
That's crazy. It was crazy.
What? So I was on a real poop train that day.
I also blame, we had a drag queen, Izzy Is She, on the show, and her whole set was her giving a blow-up doll that was supposed to be me a massage, and I kept farting. So I really blame her for really taking everybody after that was like farts and poop jokes all day.
It took a turn.
The blow-up doll, blow-up Sophia, also had chest hair though, which I loved.
Yes.
Shady.
Yes.
Shady.
So funny. So funny.
It was so funny. I love Izzy so much.
Did you have a good birthday?
I had a great birthday. I did drink my face off of mezcal as I do. I didn't make amends with anybody, so that was kind of a shame. But otherwise, it was great. I know. I might do it tonight. You know, who knows? Who knows where the world will take me? I'm really considering getting the saxophone. I know I talked about that yesterday or last time, but I'm really, really considering getting the saxophone.
Is it still in your cart?
Yes, it is.
I
as like save for later, and I
You've
was like,
considered for long enough.
I know.
It's time in live on YouTube. It's time to make a decision, Sophia. Are you getting it or not? Drum roll, please.
I think I'm getting it. I hope they don't kick me out of my apartment for being like, all my neighbors are gonna hate me.
All your neighbors have like leaf blowers and stuff in their apartments, so I think you're fine.
That's true, yes.
You'll never know.
There's a human poop app in San Francisco. Oh, Nancy.
What?
I feel like you can't just drop that and then be like, hey, peace, figure it out yourself.
That's amazing. There's an app? Wow.
Like where human poop is?
It tells you where it is. I
literally want to pick up my phone right now and go, where? Where is it?
Will it ever just like point to my apartment and I'm like, no, I didn't poop, I swear. Like, you have guessed
is it like the Pikachu, was it the Pokemon game?
Oh,
Remember where people would walk around like looking for poop?
Yes.
Is that how it works?
And is there someone who verifies? Like, do you just go on and say, oh, I'm on
like a little verified badge?
And then human poop. Like, how do you... Wow.
Someone's like,
is there...
no, that's dog poop. That's not human poop. Don't put it on the app. It's not human poop.
How do they verify?
I want that for Hollywood Boulevard.
Poop at the Palace of Fine Arts. Has it been verified?
Oh my gosh. This is the best because like we're not the only ones. Cheryl's like, wait, Nancy, what does the app do? Like people need to know, Nancy.
We want to know. Tell us.
Oh man, so good. A poop app. I love it. I love it. I'm all about the poop.
That's what I'm looking up after this show, the human poop.
For real.
What is it about San Francisco that's the only town that has it?
I feel like we need it here for Hollywood Boulevard because Hollywood Boulevard is also like you gotta dodge it. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The app, Nancy said, the app determines what poops are human and what streets have mostly animal poop on the streets. That is amazing. That's such a specific app.
Nancy, you are winning today. First of all, you are winning today with the human poop app. I don't know that anybody is going to be able to do anything that's going to be as great as the human poop app.
Seriously.
I want to know the like 23-year-old that's like, you guys, all right, here we go. Here. I have an idea for an app. We got investors.
Wait, do you
somebody
think
had to put money into that? Somebody said, "Yeah, I'll give you $60,000 for a poop app."
I think they put the money in though because that app developer was like, okay, I'm gonna have to make this point. So they took a poop outside of the like investor's door to be like, I don't know, like, is this human? Is this, you know?
Yeah.
They had to make a point.
Oh my god,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Funny. I love that so much.
Cheryl said for sure she's winning, and Lisa said that deserves a shout out for sure. Let's just give a shout out to Nancy, a shout out to
San Francisco poop app.
Human poop app.
The human poop app. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Oh my god.
Wow. That is a great start to the show.
We learn something every show, and that's why I love this show.
For real.
Every show.
I can't believe we started with poop, but here we are.
We can't get away from poop. We can't get away from it.
Everybody poops. That's what, you know. I think that's maybe the best possible thing to lead into our shout outs. Our first shout out this week is, oh my goodness, it is one of my absolute favorite YouTube channels. It is a man by the name of Z Frank. I'm Canadian. Z-E Frank. And he does all kinds of hilarious videos. One of my favorites are the sad dog and the sad cat diary. He also does like true facts about, and then insert weird animal you've never heard of, like true facts about the eye, true facts about the tapir, and they're hilarious. But I think that I can talk about it forever, or I can just show you. So we have a little clip from Sad Dog Diary from Z Frank. Let's watch it, and then we can talk about it because it's one of my favorite things in the world. Roll that.
Dear Diary, the cat is a curious, magical creature. It's as if a teddy bear mated with a cactus, and it's much less fun to play with than it would appear. And yet it poops delicious candy into a box of pea-flavored sprinkles. Dearest Human guards these treats jealously, often harvesting them into a barrel. But I will admit that I sneak one from time to time. They are delicious.
That is ridiculous, and I love everything about it.
Right? I love the
my god.
He's so cute, and he's just loving the poops. Again, poops.
I know. When I saw that video, I just went through like a deep dive of all of his videos, and I was like, this is so funny. Talking animals is the best.
Oh my god! And they're so serious.
I know.
The diary is so serious. That's my favorite thing about it is how heartfelt and deep it is.
Yes.
But I was like, I wonder if animals really think this. Like, it's like so in like the brain of a dog. I'm like, oh yeah.
Totally.
They do like to eat cat poop. Like maybe they have no understanding of what it is. They're like these little jewels, these delicious jewels.
And the humans are harvesting them. I love there was one where it was kind of a runner of him peeing on the bed. And then he kind of did it like as an off. It was like at the end of one of them. And he's like, so I peed on the bed again or something. Like it was so funny. I died.
So good. Oh, amazing. Roger Spears just said, how did you get back to poop so fast?
Roger's my brother. Shout out to my brother in Denver, Colorado.
Hey, Roger.
Hey, Roger. Thanks for watching.
Oh my God. You know what? I've never realized until literally this moment, Wynter, that you have the same last name as Britney Spears.
She has a whole joke about that.
That's the first joke I ever wrote.
I literally, like when you're like Roger Spears, I'm like, I wonder if he's related to Britney. And then I was like, oh wait. Oh my gosh. How is that taking
That's literally what I say to people all the time. Because if I say like broccoli, they don't know what I'm talking about. If I say like Britney, they go, oh.
Wait, like broccoli?
Broccoli
Spears?
I would be like florets.
You know, okay, so you know the big stalk on broccoli? They call it broccoli spears.
I call them stems. I would have been like, oh, Wynter stems, everybody. Welcome to the stage. Wynter stems. Florets. Broccoli. I know it's about broccoli.
Broccoli spears. Like when I say, and no one knows that term, like 6 people know it, and then they don't know how to spell it. So if I say like Britney, they go, oh, okay.
I love that you went to broccoli first, though. I would have been like swords in the medieval times.
Yes, thank you, Cheryl. Asparagus spears. I've never heard broccoli spears in my life.
I've never really heard,
I've heard broccoli spears. But asparagus feels perfectly valid. Thank you, Cheryl. Perfectly valid.
Going back to just a quick, Nancy's giving us an update.
Yeah,
guys.
we need to know about this app.
Yes. The app is called Snap Crap, by the way. You take pics of feces and send to city officials for cleanup, but it's morphed into something entirely different because, you know, people.
I love this.
Nancy, that's everything. That is everything.
I want to drive to San Francisco tonight just to do this, just to play this game.
I feel like it's a road trip, don't you think? I feel like it's a road trip.
Are you doing a picture of like take a poop and then take a picture of your own poop and then send it?
Be like, who did this? I can't believe it. Snap crap. Oh my God. Again, I go back to this guy and it's called, wait for it, Snap crap. Okay, guys.
Snap crap?
$1 million.
Snap crap.
Ooh.
Yes.
What were some of his first ideas for the name though? Like the Snap Crap was one he ended on. Like is there
right.
You know, like
poop, face poop, insta diarrhea. No.
Poop. Snap crap.
Good. Feces pieces. Feces pieces? Like
that sounds like a candy.
I'm maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where he started.
I feel like Snap Crap is really
where it should have been the whole time.
Should have been the whole
time. Okay. So my next shout out, I almost don't want to say what it is. I want Aisha to say what it is because she doesn't know how to say it.
I totally know how to pronounce this word. 100%.
Yeah. So it's the LA
Arboretum.
That's not it. Okay, so you said arbitorium. Other people were, Sammy, our tech advisor, said she fell asleep in the middle of saying the word, I think. she said arbitorium. The LA Arboretum. It is so amazing. So I went there on my birthday during the day, just by myself. It's have you guys been there before, PS?
No.
Is it the one that's across from the mall in Arcadia?
Maybe. So my friend asked me where it was, and I was like, north.
Did you like 134?
Yes.
Okay, so it's in Arcadia. It's across the street from the mall up there. I've been to that mall, have not been to the Arboretum.
Oh my God. Okay, so you have to go. It's so like, it's just very peaceful. It's like a tree sanctuary, kind of like a tree outdoor museum, I guess you would say. Like they have little plaques everywhere you go to tell you what kind of like plants they are. And even if you're not like interested in that, if you're like, I don't care, it's still nice to just like walk around because it feels like you're not in LA anymore. You feel like you're in like Fern Gully meets Jurassic Park minus dinosaurs, which is a bummer. I know. That's one thing I would love for them to have. But they do have peacocks walking around. So that's super cool. And then when it's mating season, they all aggressively walk up to you and like shake their feathers.
Well, did you get any numbers? Did you?
I didn't. Honestly, I went up to one peacock and I was like, hey, baby, can you open your feathers for me? I said it like that. And and he was like, no.
He's like, yeah, you're trying for consent. And I'm
The peacocks are insane up there because I've been up there to look for literally there's a neighborhood like across the street. And if you drive through that neighborhood, there are like 3-4 peacocks on people's lawns. There are peacocks walking down the street.
Okay.
I had to sit and wait for like 5 minutes till peacocks moved out of the middle of the street. The peacocks are fierce. There's a whole thing with the peacocks up there. There was a guy, I can't remember his name, but he had a circus in like, I don't know, the 40s at his house, and there were peacocks. And then when he died, the peacocks just left. And so now there's all these peacocks up there.
This is like a thing. Do you know have you guys ever been to the Hearst Castle by
No.
I haven't been, but I know where it is.
There's like apparently there was a guy who owned like basically a zoo, and then when he died, he just released the animals. Probably not him because he was dead, I guess, but like there's like zebras that live in that area still, apparently.
Wow. That is crazy. Oh, Cheryl says, I went on a field trip in grade school. They were filming Wonder Woman, and she walked across the path in front of us, and we all lost it. Oh my God, that's awesome.
I would have lost it too. I still love her. I would lose it right now if I saw Linda Carter. I would lose my mind.
Can I also just go back to this? I love the way that you described the LA Rubber-Dibber-Dab-Perbium. You called it a tree museum, and I instantly was like, didn't Joni Mitchell foresee this in her song? Like, they cut down, put up
a paradise and put up a parking
lot.
Oh
yeah,
because she's like, they cut down all the trees and put them in a tree museum, and now we're going to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because it reminded me. Like, I grew up outside DC, but still is like Maryland, and Maryland itself is very green. So I just like naturally would like be like, let me go into these forests and like explore as a kid. And so it reminded me of that, but it's still a shame that you have to like drive somewhere in particular to go just be among the trees. But it is very cool. If anybody feels like kind of getting out for a little bit, and even right now, like there's not many people there. It's all outdoors. Everybody's wearing a mask. I recommend.
I will definitely check that out.
And they have like little benches everywhere too that you can just sit and like read. It's very peaceful.
Can you bring a lunch?
Yeah.
I love it.
I went on a picnic there once.
Love
recommend. It's north.
It's north on the 134. People in LA, north on the 134, past Pasadena.
It's by a mall.
There's peacocks around.
What is that? Westfield Santa Anita. It's by the Westfield Santa Anita Mall.
Love it.
Okay, friends. So now to my shout out. Okay, first let me say we lost a wonderful civil rights leader this past week. John Lewis was 80 years old. And what I wanted to shout out, he was amazing. And the congressman, civil rights leader, has just been fighting for the people all of his life. And what I wanted to shout out was the March Trilogy. Now, I have one of the books here, March Trilogy. It's a trilogy it's a graphic novel, first of all. There are 3 graphic novels. And it follows John Lewis's life and his work in civil rights. It's amazing. It's beautifully done. I don't know if you can see right here. It's beautifully done. It's done. All the drawings are amazing. They did it in black and white. It's so gorgeous. And I actually didn't even know about it. I bought it because my mom asked me for it, and I was like, I didn't know anything about it. And then it came out. The first one came out, I want to say 2013, and then 2015, and the last one came out in 2016. So if you want to know about the life and times of John Lewis and told in a really unique way, the March Trilogy.
Love it.
That's so cool.
I think actually Josh has one of those, or possibly all of them. Because Josh is my husband, for anyone who doesn't know, because he, he's writing a screenplay that's about Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. that John Lewis was one of the founding members of. He was amazing. Did you know I met him at an event once, and he was like maybe the nicest person, even though he's gone through all the stuff, and someone just came
Seems like it.
Hi, can I just say hi? You're amazing, and I love you.
And then he wrote it, and then the two people who wrote with him, it was Andrew Aiden wrote with him, and then Nate Powell did all the illustrations and the lettering.
Nice.
Wow.
And have you read
March Trilogy on Twitter if you guys want to check it out. It's really, really it's beautifully done, and it's so powerful.
Have you read all three?
I've read all three.
Nice.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I almost asked earlier, how many are there? Because I'm dumb. I was like, ask her. No, don't ask that.
It's a trilogy.
You know what I found out this week when I was looking him up? With one of his last appearances on television was with Stephen Colbert, and he crowd surfed with the audience at Stephen Colbert. Look it up on YouTube. It's amazing. It's so beautiful, actually.
That's amazing.
It's kind of fantastic.
So
I said, wait, he did what? And he's like, you want to crowd surf? And John Lewis is like, sure.
That's
and
amazing.
He leans down and starts shaking hands in the front. They pick him up, pass him over the audience. It was unbelievable. It was so cool.
And Nancy said that he also cosplayed at Comic-Con to bring younger generations to the March Trilogy event.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he wore the backpack that he wore when he crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So cool. Yeah. It's such it's like a big loss for the world and for this movement. Also, he was so like, you think about it, like he really was the bridge from that what we call like the civil rights movement, which is referring to the 60s. Like he was there and in it. He was the March on Washington. He spoke at 23, and and then now he was a part of the Black Lives Matter movement that happened up until it's still happening now. But like for someone to be involved, really involved for all of that is kind of phenomenal and doesn't happen as much these days, it feels like.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's amazing that he has such like grace and like just humor, like kindness, all those things. Like it's really empowering.
Especially everything he'd been through.
So not be hardened. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, everyone should check those out. I'm gonna go read them because they're in the old bookcase. Yes, Cheryl says I hope you rename the bridge for him. It would be totally. In the era of taking down Confederate monuments, let's do the opposite and do the thing that we all want versus just taking away the things that we know are wrong.
Right.
Well, that leads us so perfectly into my next shout out, which is also really, really important and very serious and very grave. Flossing. Flossing is my shout out. Okay, so I'm going to assume everybody in the world has seen Pretty Woman at least one time. Is that a fair assumption to make?
Yeah.
Okay. If we know anything from that film, the most important scene is when he walks in on her and he thinks she's doing drugs because he thinks that she's the stereotypical woman that he might pick up on the street. And then she says she's flossing because the strawberry seeds get in her teeth. And, if he's going to be in all her business, she's going to leave. And I was like, girl, you go, because dental hygiene is so important. I don't care who you are, what age you are, what's going on in your life. Make sure to get that little crud out of there. You know what I mean? Let's keep the breath fresh. Let's keep the teeth healthy. I never used to floss until I was in my 30s, and now I do it every single night, even if I'm drunk. And bing, bang, boom.
Can I just tell you that I would be your arch nemesis because I'm so bad at flossing?
Okay, you mean you're bad at it or you don't do it?
I barely do. I do it like once I go to the dentist because the dentist yells at me, and then I'm like, you know what, Sophia, you need to start flossing, and then I floss for like a couple weeks, and then I gradually don't anymore. I even have like a joke about it that I wrote a while ago where it was like, I keep on being like, maybe I'll get my life together. Like, maybe I'll start flossing. And then I'm like, nah, it's too much blood. It's too much blood.
Thank you, Marcel. Marcel said flossing is crucial.
I know.
Marcel has very good teeth. I know this because I know Marcel. Great teeth. Great teeth.
I'm gonna lose all my teeth.
Is crucial. I'm like you, Sophia. I'm like, like I'll start if I know I'm going to the dentist. I'll start a couple weeks before to sort of get it in.
Yeah.
So when he asks me, "Have you been flossing?" I can say,
Yeah. You lying little people.
I haven't been doing it regularly because I know I'm not doing a good job.
Your teeth are all bloody. You're like, I floss all the time.
Like your gums are supremely infected.
I like what Cheryl said. She said she thought that fun floss might help, so she ordered scented floss, strawberry, orange, and passion fruit. Ooh. I feel like I would be too worried that it had sugar in it, and I'd be like flossing my teeth and just creating cavities in between.
Plus, then you shift over to like minty toothpaste, and you're like, this doesn't go together.
Yeah. Coffee flavored. Yum, 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 yum.
And what's super sad is she committed to flossing, but now she doesn't have the package because maybe the post office lost it.
She's like, well, I tried.
There you go. I tried.
Like, dentists are so mean. Like no other doctor is like, well, you deserve this. Dentist is like, well, if you flossed, which they're not wrong, but still.
I have like real anxiety. I don't have anxiety about a lot of things in life, but I have super, super anxiety about the dentist because I had bad experiences as a child where like they like cracked off my teeth and like they had to like one lady couldn't freeze me, so she was just drilling away. Like it was horrible.
No.
So I didn't go to the dentist for a long time and had real bad experiences. And then when I went to the dentist for the first time as an adult, and I went to this wonderful dentist who was very patient, and I told her, and I like started crying and was like, this happened to me. Like I'm really, really, my jaw doesn't open wide. I have like an issue with my jaw, like all kinds of stuff. Wow. And so she was so lovely, and she did my work, and she was like, I'm going to prescribe you like an anti-anxiety medication. So when you come in, you can take it. And when things get bad, it'll just help to settle. And I was like, thank you. And I took it, and I don't take anything, right? Like I take vitamins. I took it, she started drilling, and I like everything went up, and it just like brings you back down. But then what I didn't know is afterwards, oh, you're like a real drunk person. Like I was walking down the halls, like hitting the wall. I had to get somebody to come pick me up. Like my brother was like, called me from his car. He's like, okay, I'm here. And then the people at the front were like, oh no, you're going to have to come in.
I need to carry this bitch, okay?
You're going to need to park.
The next time I had to break half and only take half, and I was still like drunk afterward. It was so much. But like now it helps me go to the dentist because otherwise I'm like, can't do it.
I always hear these horror stories about dentists. That's why I'm like, no, I'll just chance it. Never go. Well, that really leads seamlessly, no, it doesn't, into my shout out, which is my friend, Jeff McCubbin. Okay. First of all, Jeff is like a jack of all trades, and I'm going to try to get it all in because he does so much. First off, if you're gay, you might know this YouTube channel, his alter ego, Sienna Denema, which is, he used to make these videos they're called Jizz. Don't worry, it's not actual Jizz. But he would take cartoons of Jem and the Holograms, and then he would dub over it to be like super funny. Definitely recommend if you haven't seen it. He's so funny. Also, if you see this picture here, that's Trixie Mattel. She's a famous drag queen. And one of the offshoots of RuPaul's Drag Race is Trixie Mattel and this other drag queen, Katya, have a show called actually they do like this like that.
Oh, yeah.
Up for interpretation. And Jeff is the editor on that show, and by editor it's not just like regular editing, like he is one of the people that makes a lot of the jokes, like because it's just Katya and Trixie talking, but then he and another editor, Ron, come in and they like put graphics on it, like they're kind of like writers on the show as well,
and in real time then like with what's going on. That's awesome.
So funny. Definitely recommend. And then finally, he has a podcast called Comic Book Queers, and it's like their take on a gay take on comic book heroes, and like things like, is Wolverine a bottom? You know, and the answer is that's the thing they tackle.
I think he'd have to be, because if he was on top and got too excited,
exactly, you gotta be like, gotta hide him. Shout out for Jeff. because he's also an artist, and he made the reason I wanted to bring him up is for my birthday he made this, which is
Labyrinth!
Oh, so great.
Is that a watercolor?
It is a watercolor. I know. You're like, I can see it now. I'm a professional.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's a stand-up comic and an improviser. He's just one of those people that you're like, how are you this talented? You're a bitch and I hate you, / you're my best friend, but die.
If anyone doesn't know, Sophia has a hard time expressing positive emotions.
I just want to punch you in your face. I love you so much. I want to stab you.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's great. I definitely recommend all of those. Check him out on Instagram and his YouTube channel. So funny.
Yeah. Love.
Okay, so that kind of takes us into our next one. So you guys remember when the whole "I'm a Savage" TikTok thing came out, right? So there's a woman. Her name is Morgan Bullock, and she is an Irish dancer. And when the TikTok came out, she's like, "Well, that's not really the kind of dance I do. I do Irish dancing." She fell in love with Irish dancing when she was a small child. She's from Richmond, Virginia, and so she did this TikTok to the song doing Irish dancing. It blew up. It went viral. She's been invited now to dance with Riverdance next year when they come to Virginia. She's been invited to the Riverdance Academy. She's supposed to go dance for the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Ireland next year. So all of these wonderful things. And she's Irish step dancer, Black woman. Not a lot of Black women in Irish step dancing. Got some hate online for like cultural appropriation, which I thought was weird. But she's, out here doing her thing and being amazing at it. So I definitely wanted to give her a shout out. Morgan Elizabeth.
Love it. That's awesome. Why? It sounds like there's a monster in your.
Yeah, did the monster come back?
The monster come back? I don't know what's happening. Okay. Oh, it's gone. Don't worry, you're fine. You're fine, Wynter. There was a monster behind you. It's gone now. It's fine.
Now I'm nervous. I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
That's amazing. I love. Okay, I don't know if you guys have watched an Irish dancing, a lot of it. One of my best friends is Irish, and like I dated an Irish guy for a very long time, so I was in Ireland a lot, and it is intense. It is like so. It's like tap dancing mixed with like jujitsu. Like it's like not jujitsu, more like kung fu. It's like so crazy and so good, and like and then also their curls, the bounce. They have like those wigs on with the curls, like so. But I have not seen this video. I really want to go check it out of her dancing to that song.
I'm always amazed at how straight they can be on the top and how their legs are doing all this work on the bottom. And I'm like, that's amazing.
It feels like she actually take a picture on the top and then they just have a video on the bottom with their legs. Like,
that's what it looks like every time I see it. I'm like, how are they doing that? What magic is this?
Sorcery.
And she actually tours the world as a professional dancer of Irish dance with the BAFA Academy of Irish Dance.
Wow.
I love that. Alicia said, I love that she started into Irish dancing just because she saw it at a recital and loved it, right?
That's awesome.
Right.
That's amazing.
It was so cool.
I think it's like, this is also leads into an interesting conversation about cultural appropriation, because I have very strong opinions about how I feel like sometimes people jump really quickly to cultural appropriation when there's also a thing of just like cultural appreciation where people are like, I love this thing. And I like, I don't think that Morgan's saying, I'm Irish. This is my dance. You know what I mean? Which is, I think, where you cross into the line of cultural appropriation, where you're kind of like, I made this thing up out of nowhere.
Right, exactly.
And also, I think people, and maybe it's not necessarily in this case, but people overuse it. Like, really, it's when you make money out of it. Like, I don't know. It's just like sometimes you're just giving a nod to something. Like this started out with her just wanting to dance it. You know what I mean? Like maybe now she's going to make money, whatever. That's, but I still feel like people just overuse that word at all. If you're like, if you do anything that's not your culture, it's cultural appropriation.
Yeah. Like, oh, you ate pasta last night? Oh, wow.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
And Sophia's right. There's a difference between loving something and loving something in someone else's culture. We all do that. Everybody has things that they love that's not necessarily about where they're from. That doesn't make it cultural appropriation.
Exactly. Yeah.
We just love
Okay,
it here
guys,
so much.
are you ready for our mantra guess?
Oh, gee, is it already time? Is it already time?
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Oh, excited. This is a good one. This is a very good
Yeah.
get. Well
I'm
done,
very
Wynter.
excited. Very excited. Okay, she's an actress, writer, improviser, and vocalist. You may have seen her on Women Who Kill or on Key and Peele. You can currently see her playing Denise on ABC's hit show Mixed Dish. Please give it up for Christina Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
wow.
Beautiful.
Shame with these lashes.
I mean, you gotta give them something.
Beautiful.
This is the future of television.
Right.
True.
Here we are, here in our homes.
So thank you for booking me.
Thank you so much for being on. I'm like just talking about this. I was just reading when Wynter said you were going to come on. I was reading about you. I mean, I'd seen the Key and Peele sketch. It's so good. The I Said Bitch sketch. Everybody, if you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. But I was also reading about you and your audition for Mixed Dish and how it was kind of you were at the end of the rope.
Yeah. I was at the end of the rope. The rope was gone. I was just leaning against the wall, back was to the wall. Yeah, I was really done. And I think I'd had like a bad, I don't know. I think that day, the day I quit was I went to like a commercial audition for a coffee, a very famous coffee company. And they just wanted me to say pumpkin spice, this new pumpkin spice drink they had. And they just kept saying, you know, maybe a little more soul.
Oh,
like,
oh my God.
Yeah, that
at the internet.
Yeah. There was that. And it was like
every Black actor watching this went,
oh, not again. And I thought, I mean, I've been in the business I'm celebrating 20 years this year in the business. So I've been around the block and then some. But even they use that phrase. They're like, I think she's been around the block. I think she's somebody people don't want to see coming. You know, I'm like, how many ways can you say pumpkin spice or burp in front of this roller coaster about Pepsid AC? You know what I mean? I had just had it. I couldn't even book that. I wasn't Black enough.
Oh, right.
And then, and then I had been out for pilot season. And I think this was probably like audition number 99. Like, and I've been in for many TV shows, but to be a lead on a show, a principal character, and I just was like, it's not going to happen. Like we don't even want you to say hello. You can't go in there to see the principal. We don't want you to do anything. So I just was like, I'm done. This is a sign from God. I'm a very spiritual person, and I just knew I was like, if God wanted me to be doing this, I'd be doing it. And so I was very satisfied. I am a teaching artist. And, coaching young people and adults on comedy. Came from the improv comedy community in Chicago, came out to LA, really got back into stand-up, started doing more stand-up. And so I was like, I'm just happy if this is it, this is it. And then, went to that last audition. My boyfriend at the time was like, just go. And I think I did something silly. He was like, what would make you say you're crazy? I said, I'm going to dress up like a woman from the 80s. Yes. I think I put some black lip liner on my mouth and some Versace inspired earrings. Yes. And I went to the audition. And I remember I was like, I look like a fool right now. And Tracy Ellis Ross came up to me and said, hey, I just wanted to introduce myself because everybody there was famous. And she was like, I don't think we've met. I'm Tracy. And I was like, girl, if I was friends with you, I think I would know that. Yeah, we talk about that.
Like who?
Yeah. And so did the audition. Yeah, went home and just was like, that was fun last time. And they asked me to come back that day, and I said no because I had already taken my lunch break from my real job that paid my real bills.
Yeah.
And I was like, y'all not gonna trick me into coming back there and getting fired off my job. And my agents were like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please. So I think I made up something. I went back to test with who was playing my sister, the wonderful Tika Sumter. And we did our screen test. And then, I got the job. The next morning they called me, said I got the job.
Wow.
And I was so shocked. I just hung up the phone. Because I was like, nobody's ever called to say you got the job. They always call. They don't call.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just hung up. I was like,
Like, okay, we need your information. Oh, hello.
my agents called back and they were like, "Are you crying?" I was like, "No, I was just so shocked. I'm sorry, I hung up." They're like, "You started in 90 minutes. Get over there." I got the job the same day we started work.
Oh my
What?
God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that story. Wow.
Yeah. So don't give up. There's life after 40. And the boyfriend that encouraged me to go on one last audition, we got married.
Yeah.
I mean, we had been dating for quite some time.
No, it was because of this that you guys got married. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
Amazing
That's literally
story.
like one of those like fairy tales that is a real thing, like a real person that we all now can be like, no, I know her. I know that this happened.
Yeah, it can happen. I mean, and people were so happy. I feel your joy. My family was happy for me. Nobody was happier than my landlord at the time. But it just is like, oh, the woman in 4A. Oh, she's always playing games with that rent check.
Oh man, I love it. I love it.
You didn't getting it?
Leisha's saying God is good. Nancy says love it. Cheryl says, oh, that's a great story, babe. You got, everyone's backing you. Stories like that make people want to behind you. And
so empowering.
You know?
Yeah. What do they say? A bad day doesn't mean a bad week, doesn't mean a bad year, and it doesn't mean a bad life. So you got to just hang on. Hang on.
My God, if that's not even your mantra, I'm like, oh my God,
this is that
every day. Before we go into the mantra, can you tell us a little bit about the charity that you chose for today that people can donate to if they have the means?
Yes. It is called the Playmakers Laboratory, and you can hit them up at Playmakers Lab. I think, you have it there, playmakerslab.org. I'm also a company member, emeritus, because I'm not in Chicago, but it's a Chicago-based reading and writing, creative writing program. So teaching artists like me, go into Chicago public schools and teach creative writing. And so we teach kids how to write plays, how to write poems, how to write arguments, how to look at photos and develop backstory. And the kids are from 2nd or 3rd grade all the way up to 6th or 8th grade. And I've been a member of the company for over a decade. It was my time in Chicago. It taught me so much about, it's easy to write your own jokes, especially like as a stand-up or an improviser or sketch comedy person, to write your own jokes and perform them. But to take someone else's words, especially when they're like in 5th grade, and to be able to learn how to perform those words, because we also perform their writing later in a big show for the entire school. It just really brought my acting and brought that craft to a new level. And then it also brought my writing to a new level, because it's one thing to know how to write jokes, but it's another thing to explain to someone else how to write jokes. And it's great because we form long-term partnerships in Chicago public schools. So I had a student recently reach out to me on social media to say, I remember when you came to my school. So it's really exciting. And then to say, I'm in college now, and it's just amazing to see the growth that the students have, and for them to see art in their school in a way that has a long-term impact.
And for them to see you go on to do this thing now where they're like watching you on TV being like, hey, she can do it. I can see it, be it kind of thing. That's so cool.
Yeah. You cannot be what you cannot see. So I'm so excited. For them to be able to see Mixed Dish. And it's also exciting too, coming up, there's going to be a celebration of authors. That's what we call the students in the program, because they are writers. And that's happening on August 1st. And so if you'd like to give something as little as $1, helps buy school supplies. But on August 1st, we're having a big celebration virtually online. I'll be appearing at it along with Carly Sirachi from the Disney Channel. We're just excited to get more students. And obviously Chicago Public Schools has a lot of students, Black students and brown students. And so getting them to learn that being an artist and being a writer, this is something you can do. It is a livelihood, but it's also something that everyone can be good at.
That's
Wow.
awesome. Love
And then
that.
to see that show, can they see it? Go to playmakerslab.org to watch on August 1st?
Yes, you can go to playmakerslab.org/events and register and get your get registered for the event. And yeah, we'll see you there. It's going to be really great. And you get to see some of the stories that the kids have written this year.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's so cool. That's amazing.
And when
Now
you're in
let's make
Chicago,
this
right?
lunch. Huh?
Wait,
Say again?
Chicago?
Absolutely. Now I'm trying to remember, Christine. I can't remember if we met out here in Chicago. I can't remember.
We met in Chicago, but really the sisterhood was bonded in Los Angeles.
In LA. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's amazing. This could not be a better setup for having you on as a mantra guest. I feel like literally already we've already got like 7
Yeah,
months.
I know.
Right.
I've stalked my life now.
So thank you so much for being on. But let's hear this mantra that you've prepared and brought to us today.
Well, I actually have two.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So the first one is from, it's a beautiful, I don't know actually who it's from. I probably could have Googled it, but it was said to me when I was trying to make my decision to come to Los Angeles and whether or not I should stay in Chicago. And I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know that I should stay in Chicago. I don't know if it's time to move on. I just don't know if, I felt very drawn to stay in Chicago. And my friend, Michelle, said to me, where there's doubt, there's no doubt. You know what to do. And so if you're having a question about something, it means you probably, shouldn't pursue it. It's those questions mean, in your heart, this isn't right. And so that for me, I was like, wow, it's time to move on. I couldn't figure out, of what was keeping me in Chicago, and I didn't have anything. So when you have, and I also use that it works for dating as well. It's just like, is this the person for me?
Right.
Is this my person? Where there's doubt, there's no doubt. You need to move on.
Yeah. I think that's so tough though, the shifting into something new is a really difficult path.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's even harder for people who have those 9 to 5 Monday to Friday things because they're so stable. And even for people like us who are creatives and our worlds are all over the place, it's still hard. But that's such a good piece of just you do know. The reason we're having that is because there's something going, hey, inside,
Yeah.
And it's hard to give up that money. It's hard to give up that 9 to 5 paycheck every week, even though you're dying inside. I very specifically remember crying in my boss's car when I quit my job to move to Los Angeles because I felt I was so conflicted. And I knew, I was like, I have to tell her. And I just couldn't tell her. And then I just burst into tears. I felt so bad I was like, I'm so sorry for crying.
Most times you do that, and then the person's like, yeah, cool. And you're like, why am I so upset about it?
They're not conflicted at all.
Yep.
Yes.
No, yeah, I definitely, and I did, it was harder the second day job I had when I moved here. I started working for Airbnb, and I was supposed to be there just 6 to 8 months, cut to 8 years later.
Right.
I mean, the people I work with were like, yeah, is this the big audition? Yeah, good luck. Right. We get it. But I didn't actually quit that job once I booked Mixed Dish. I just went ahead and took some sick time and took some personal days because I was like, hey, you don't know if the TV show is actually going to become a TV show. And yeah, so I actually was working both jobs at the same time. And at a photo shoot, we had finished taking photos and I said, are we almost done? And Kenya Barris, the creator of this Ish World, said, wow, you got someplace to be? And I was like, yeah, I got to go back to my job. Because they also don't pay you to be in the newspaper to announce that you're going to be on TV. It's a long time. So I went back to work for several months. And he was like, you're going to have to quit that job eventually. And yeah, so eventually I did quit it, but it was well into the fall.
Yeah.
I was still working that job this time last year. I haven't been.
Wow.
I was still like, this is Judy, because I had a fake name. Because that was me. My name was Judy. Because I had a fake name because I was like, well, just in case y'all blow up. and get on my show. I don't want to use my real name. My boss was like, ma'am, fine.
Like, you think you're better than us?
Yeah.
Judy.
I love that someone who didn't get the memo was like, oh my God, Judy, she's missing.
Yeah.
People message me now. They're like, Judy, it's me, Mark. Or maybe it'd be from accounts. I'm like, my name is Christina Anthony. He's like, wow, you really were acting. You really bravo, ma'am. Bravo. Yeah. No, one guy, he was like, you really are into the arts.
Oh my God.
Yep.
And then my last mantra, because I was taking all your time, but my last mantra is from my grandfather, who's now deceased. So you don't have to like write this down, but remember this. If it smells like shit everywhere you go, it might be you.
Right.
Oh.
And I think it's a reference to like, because you guys were talking about poop earlier, but poop on your shoe. Yeah. You could think of it that way. Like if there's literally poop on your shoe, you need to stop going places being like, oh, it smells terrible in here. It's probably you. But also I think it's about your attitude, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about your attitude.
It's like, I think there's this moment, I've had that moment before where I've like worked in spaces and stuff and I'm like, what is wrong with people? And then a moment you go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
The only thing that's consistent is me.
Yep.
That stuff, right? That we're bringing to it, that we, whatever it is, the chip on your shoulder, the bad attitude, the like, whatever it is, and just owning it and moving on. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool though, when you realize it's you. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I used to wait tables for many years and I became a nightmare of a person because I was just like, what does everybody want? Like, and then I was like, why don't people like me?
Yeah.
But you get to that point where you're like, okay, it's making me a terrible person.
I'm like, that's when I was like, I gotta stop working these jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
And then look at us now, talking to Judy.
Judy.
Now I feel bad. Now I feel bad because I feel like y'all are gonna be like, wait, are these customer service people using fake names? They are.
I don't mind at all because I told it's like that's not you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not you. That is your. I gotta survive. This is you.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Glowing on a Thursday.
Glowing.
Looking fabulous.
Please,
so well lit.
Go to Jackie Ina's YouTube channel and get yourself a bronze tutorial.
Yes.
The bronzer tutorial. Yes.
So good. Thank you for both of those mantras. We love, and we also love how you brought it back to poop, girl. This is
poop. We started with poop. We ended with poop. Thank you so much, Christina, for being on the show, for giving us the beautiful mantras. Thank you. Everybody be sure to follow Christina at Teeny Anthony on Instagram. And also make sure you catch her on Mixed-ish this fall. It's going to be amazing. And don't forget, if you can, please donate to playmakerslab.org. Thank you again, Christina. You're such a gift. You're such a joy. I so love you.
Oh, thank you. Love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Oh my gosh.
And you were saying before that her name has been put in the mix for an Emmy. Is that correct, Wynter?
You know how you have to like submit your name?
Yes.
She's submitting. So I'm like, yes.
Love.
Yes. And if you guys haven't seen her on Mixed-ish, it is hilarious. She is so funny. So definitely check out Christina.
I love it. And Judy. Just kidding. My name, whenever I played like house as a kid, because we played house, but we were like office workers, I was always Sandra.
Ooh.
Because I feel like that feels like my customer service alter ego. Love what are yours?
I was Tia Jones.
Oh. Wynter, do you have one?
Do I have a fake name?
Like a customer service name?
I was in Spanish class. We had to pick a new name. Like you had to pick a Spanish name. So my Spanish name is Catalina. That was my Spanish name.
Very nice.
Sounds like an exotic. All right, guys. So it's the moment of truth now. We talked earlier about prizes. So today's prize is a drop card of Aisha Alfa's new album, All the Parts. It's so funny. You guys are definitely going to want this. So all you have to do is answer my one question. Earlier, I mentioned my shout out, Jeff McCubbin, edits for a show. What was the show called? And just to take the pressure off, you guys can just make up a show and I'll choose you if I think it's funny. So
answers or funny answers are both eligible. Love
yes.
it.
Yep. So let
if
us
we are
know.
entertained, if we are entertained.
Here's a hint. That's that.
Leisha just said she needs a dating mantra, Lord.
Oh my God, right? Dating right now is dumb. Is it even worth it?
I can't even imagine how people are doing it. I'm like, so what are people? Someone did it. I forget who said it on Twitter, and they were like, so how are people dating now? I was like, I don't
like know. FaceTimes and I don't know. But I'll tell you, guys are definitely like, want to meet? I'm like, I don't even see my friends, so no. And I don't like you. There's a 99.100% chance I will not like you.
Math is impeccable. Can I just say that Josh, my husband and I, we met, and then the next day I moved to Canada for a job for 3 months, and we FaceTimed the first 3 months of our relationship.
Aww.
And then we got married. So
that's awesome.
You know?
Well, I mean, in theory, I thought that would work out. I was like, oh, great. Yeah, FaceTiming for a while kind of takes the pressure of other things that kind of get in the way.
Yeah.
Sexting times.
But you had met him once. So like you got a vibe.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you get a vibe in person, like you're like, oh, he's not a murderer, he's not a serial killer, you know what I mean? And if you're meeting someone online, I feel like you don't have that moment of that person might murder me. I can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I have great pictures.
Yeah.
I just went like this.
Don't kill me, please. Have we had any guesses yet?
Well, I think that Nancy. I'm just gonna say. I think I'm gonna call it. I think Nancy wins because she had the best shout out with.
Snap
crap.
Bonus shout out.
Thank you for the bonus shout out.
Snap crap. I love it. That's
Nancy,
amazing.
you are now a part of the show.
Nancy, thank you so much for that contribution.
Yes.
Just for the answer to the question, though, the show was called. But Nancy, I think, and she also said yes. I don't know if that was the answer to the question or not, but we're giving it to you for the snap crap and everything and for engaging so much. You can email boxoffice@dynastytypewriter.com with the subject line, I win, and I will send you this bad boy right here in the mail with a special message from me. Thanks, Nancy, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Nancy. And while we're talking about all the parts, let's shout out Aisha Alfa. Her special, All the Parts, is on the All Things Comedy YouTube channel. Check it out. It's there for free right now. We don't know how long that's going to be. You should check it out now. It's funny and fabulous. And you're amazing, Aisha.
Yes.
Thank you. And well, we all know the wonderful, beautiful Wynter Spears. She was on the Native Society's website. She did an interview. She and another comedian did an interview where it's a website that showcases all amazing comedians. And so you can go check out Wynter's interview on there right now. I looked at it. Wynter, doing great things, doing big things. We love it.
Yeah.
Love. Shout outs to you. And well, that brings us to the end of yet another successful, amazing shout out show. Yay! Make sure that you all stay tuned to the very end because we have all of our shout outs will be on title cards at the end. So you can take snapshots of it and then go check those things out. Wow, I have to stop what I'm saying because Nancy just said I was Nigerian for like a year. I don't know what that means.
She's actually Haitian. That's why that's funny.
I use fake names and accents.
I love that because I just saw that and I was like, I don't know wwhat's happening.
I was like, yeah, because she's actually Haitian.
I'm Nigerian. I was born there. So I was like, oh my God, are we sisters? I love it. Thank you guys. Thank you so much to the Dynasty Typewriter. They are the amazing venue here in Los Angeles and the people who host us and present this show. They are so wonderful. Thank you all so much for joining Today I'm sharing in the positivity. This show happens every single Thursday at 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. So make sure that you turn on the notifications on the Dynasty Typewriter YouTube channel, subscribe, and that way you will not miss a single darn thing.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks so much, guys. I've been Sophia Zolan.
I've been Wynter Spears.
I've been Aisha Alfa, and you have all been amazing. And remember that if you keep a green branch in your heart, perhaps a singing bird will come. Thank you guys all so much for being here. We love you so much, and we will see you next week at the Shoutout Show. Bye.
Bye.